Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Backstage with that boy Rob G. And it's that boy Chingo Bling. We're backstage, man. The kind of combos that happen in the green room.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? What it do, Rob?
What I do, brother. One of my favorite parts of ever having been on a couple of shows with you in the green room, I guess, backstage, is that the vibe is super hangy, and then there's either you want to upper an energy drink, or you kind of want something that mellows you out, like a glass of wine or whatever. But that ritual of the backstage will never not be not cool. You know what I mean? Do you agree with that?
Yeah. And the biggest thing about it is, getting in your zone. There is a such thing as that little buffer between, you might be doing a lot of hustle and bustle throughout the day. You might be in a museum downtown Chicago, but by the time you make it to the venue, there's got to be that little buffer where you're not just hauling ass, drive through, scarfing, check in hotel, shower, run. There's got to be that and I landed. Because this is actually one of the topics that I do want to cover today. But first, Brownsville, Texas, you are up next Wednesday, November 26th. I believe that's the day before Thanksgiving. After that, we have Tampa, Florida, December 14th. But now let's dive into this subject about managing your energy.
All right, love it.
All right, look, I'm going to recommend this book that was recommended to me. One of my mentors. Man, I can't believe I didn't send it to you yet. It's called The Power of Full Engagement. And dude, all right, I just started listening to it. I really haven't gotten to the nitty gritty of so how do you apply this and how do you manage your energy? I think I've only made it through the intro and maybe the first chapter, which is basically painting the picture of how an athlete has to have a little bit in the gas tank and has to know how to manage their energy so that they can hit the game-winning shots. Because, see, I know you do a lot of consultations and Rob, he's all about business and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So some of this stuff you might already know. Maybe it just hasn't been put in these words.
Sure.
But I've been around the block a long time, and this was never broken down to me in this manner. I've heard manage your energy, not your time. I've heard that. I already kind of knew that. But when it gets put into the terms of let's just say with my wife, her apparel and the Hive Boutique, and she's doing these markets and she's prepping a Lake Charles market in our living room while she's prepping Lakeside Country Club market in our bedroom. You know what I mean? And it's you're running around, you're pulled in every which way direction. At what point are you able to recharge and refresh? In other words, it's Mighty Soul, we need you to, can you maybe, when you're onboarding new merchandise and you're price tagging, can you maybe coordinate to hire, have an assistant that day? Mm-hmm. I know I'm a great assistant and everything, but maybe have one of your primas come over here and she could be steaming garments and opening boxes so that you could hit the game-winning shots. Mm-hmm. So I look back in my life, a lot of headaches, whether you were through a season of depression, right? Okay, well, man, why are you so down? Man, just, some investments went sideways. Some things didn't pan out. An album didn't do what, the team fell apart, or, I'm going through this, through that. A lot of it could be viewed through the lens of, okay, why did you not have balance? Man, because I was trying to figure it out, man, because when you in the game, you going show to show. Okay, so you didn't have balance. You didn't have any hobbies. You didn't have a life. Man, I was having to miss out on weddings and all, and, people's birthdays because, we had to go to Florida for the car show. All right, so I'm hearing that you were burnt out, right? Okay. In other words, I could look back at a lot of those situations and look at it bro, you were burning the candle on both ends. You were experiencing burnout because nobody ever taught you how to manage your energy. And basically, that's what I'm trying to do still.
Dude, I love this topic. So, again, backstage, nothing's off the table, right? So out of the audio, do you like to read? You like to read, or rather listen more than read, right?
It depends. Yeah, sometimes it's convenient.
Yeah, dude, it's just, you can knock it out so much more convenient, right? So The Power of Full Engagement. I want to stay on this because something kind of had to spark the idea to even dive into a book like that because most people are just deciding like, you know what, I'm gonna get a time management and productivity book. Like, what was it? What
Well,
was
it's an energy management. So basically, I don't think I have to say his name, but like a mentor of mine, right? Just so we don't get too in the weeds with the details, but a mentor of mine, we had touch base. He kind of reached out about something, and we got to chopping it up. Long story short, he was basically telling me like, "Hey, bro, the circle got to get smaller. You got to like say no. You got to like cut people off."
Yeah.
And the advice was like twofold. So like the first half of the advice, and this is for anybody listening, bro. Like literally, if you're in corporate America, you can apply this. You know, if you whatever kind of job, I don't give a damn if you the master plumber or the journeyman, like you can apply this. So the first half of the advice was basically like, okay, I'm hearing that you're trying to juggle and manage, obviously life, personal, like kids, all that, plus trying to make bigger projects that move the needle. You know what I'm saying? Like bigger shit. Like, Spanish audiobook is out. You know, like greatest hits. We're doing House of Blues, all music show, Chingo and Friends. We're doing a big theater comedy show. It's me and the line, it's like triple head, quadruple header. It's me and that comedian and that comedian. All those things take planning and execution. So now so basically that's kind of what I was venting. It's like, how do I juggle the day-to-day, like the hygiene stuff of like, did you post 3 times? Hell yeah, I did. Did you get the views? Did you get the engagement? Hell yeah, I did. I'm on top of my shit. Okay, so you're doing all the stuff that's due because in a couple hours it's time to post again. And you're going to have to go sit in that corner and edit or do your little voiceover or whatever. And then you got to put, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, okay, you're doing a good job of juggling the day-to-day. The views are up and you're getting the reach. But you're saying that you're having a hard time also being able to execute the other stuff. So that's where the book came in. And that's where the advice of like, like you can't go to everything. You can't be accessible to everybody. Like you're going to have to prioritize. The second half of the advice is basically like something I'm the worst culprit of. Hey Chingo, man, you know a bunch of people, bro. When's the last time you when's the last time you talked to such and such, you know what I mean? Or such and such, or that R&B singer, or that one pop star, you know what I mean? And that other comedian that's, like, do you know him? Do you stay in touch with? Oh, yeah. And it's like, okay, so how are you nurturing and managing these relationships? Oh, man, I chopped it up with such and such. I think it was about, we spoke about something a couple months ago. Really? How many months? I think 3. Okay, it might have been 6 or 8. You know what I'm saying? Just because they're touring, you're touring, they live on one side of town, you live on one side of town, they got kids and a wife, you got kids and a wife. So realistically, you're not gonna be hanging out for scars every goddamn Wednesday. And you're trying to make it to jiu-jitsu. You know what I'm saying? Right. And your kids got activities. So basically the advice, just so I don't get too long-winded, the advice was basically like, there are going to be friendships and relationships that can move the needle. The people that are going to show up with 20 people. Don't worry about it, dog. I bought tickets. Damn, you bought 20 tickets? You know what I mean? Like, oh, I announced it on my thing. Dude, I put it on my story. I put the link. I heard you needed a sponsor for that. So like I was telling one of the guys at the jiu-jitsu gym, basically like, hey, man, I was sharing this information. I've been trying to share it with everybody. And I was like, look, bro, there's going to be that tire shop that chunks you $500 every time you got a match. They want their logo on the flyer and the banner. Okay, you better treat them like a VIP because you know that for the last 3 fights, they've chunked you that $500 or whatever, right? Whereas you can't be running around spread thin to where you neglecting your $500, basically, right? So that in a nutshell is kind of like make a list. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be quality over quantity. Some people could just move the needle.
It is. And by the way, there's no long-windedness. This is literally your ability to be as long-winded as possible. Okay. I just want to throw that out there. But like time management is great. And the relationship part of it, that's been probably my biggest thing for the longest time, man. Like the way that you would travel, the way that you would work on music, comedy, all the different things, it takes so much time and planning if you're lucky. Like a lot of times it is kind of like shoot, it's what's the phrase? Ready, fire, aim. There ain't no time to aim. You just got to fire from the hip because this is what's kind of allotted to me at the moment, and I got to do what I can do with it. But when you're trying to run a business, like for instance, the sponsoring thing, that's so funny. Like back when I had the cryotherapy facility prior to Hurricane Harvey, when everything started kind of falling to shit around Houston, that was one of my favorite things to do was be able to get behind a fighter, especially in the MMA world because you knew a lot of people, jiu-jitsu, bodybuilding or whatever, and getting them one step closer towards their show, their match, their competition, their fight, whatever, and then having them be so thankful for it that they, like even with their 1,000 followers or 500 followers or 10 or whatever it was, talk about, hey, this location of these people helped me get here, go support them or whatever. And that movement right there in that one person was way more valuable than, unfortunately, these other 10 people that were kind of just a time suck, but they wanted to hang out or they wanted to do whatever. And I get it, but it just doesn't always, work that way. And also when, like you said, we have kids and family, that's one of the big problems. Going into the next year, man, and I've been doing this for a while now, is if I can, I'm going to try to streamline everybody that I work with in one way or another so that I can optimize the output. Like if I'm going to work on 3 different projects, can I somehow mend and mold these 3 things into one? Could this person help that person helps this person in one way or another? And the only problem with that, or one of the biggest ones, is that when you start to commingle efforts and audiences, you gotta understand and make it real clear as day. I don't want to put a bad name or a bad taste of your brand in your audience's mouth because we're not working with this one and this person and this person, but I'm making an effort, let's just say, or collaboratively, we should be trying to make an effort to make it all work. If it doesn't work, that's fine, but that's got to be known from the jump. Like the idea is here, we can knock out 5-10 times more stuff if we're all kind of working together. And I know that sounds like a perfect world, maybe Zora Mamdani kind of talk right there. But really, like that's what it's about, man. Being too scattered, it just makes everything so much harder to complete.
Yeah, scattered is my middle name, but but yeah, dude, that's I think those 2 pieces of advice are just very, very critical and crucial because like when it's time to carve out time to relax and recharge, which is like it's like the art of refreshing yourself, you know what I mean, recharging. Yeah. When it's time to do that, whether that's taking your kids to the roller rink or just like vegging out on the couch while you and the kids watch a movie or whatever, like how hard can you chill? You know what I'm saying? Or a friend's coming over, y'all can go in the backyard, chit chat, smoke a cigar or whatever. Like how chill can you be versus like, you mind if I record this? This could be a great podcast interview. You know what I mean? It's like, damn, bro, I thought we was going to just hang out. You know what I mean? And smoke cigar and chop it up and it's the fellowship podcast. It's like where a friend comes over and we cram another thing. But yeah, but like for example, my mentor who recommended this book, he gave the example of he was kind of like rolling with this political person who was having to campaign and like go around the country and was having to do these big debates, which a lot of people were going to watch that were very important, right? And you had to fundraise and you had to be on that phone fundraising. So the example was this person had a big debate that night and this was the one he had to win. The team had him fundraising. He was on the phone all day long, fundraising. My mentor was basically telling the person like, hey bro, I really think you should like cut that off for a while. Like you need to chill and be ready for tonight. Well, they had him fundraising, didn't do his best, didn't deliver under pressure like he needed to. That's the debate he needed to win. That's the one everybody was watching. And then the rest is history. And my friend was right. Our friend was right. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, dude, I also look back. Check this out, Rob. I also think back of situations where obviously we're just going to have our limitations with certain things, right? You're not going to make a hit song every time you're in the studio or what have you. But like there are situations I could look back on where you have to hit, like you got to kill this. You know what I'm saying? Like they're filming this for XYZ, or you're in the studio with such and such. Like you better conjure whatever you need to conjure. I know, this person's harassing you on the phone. Like, that's got to wait. Like, how do you become laser focused so that you can hit them game winning shots? Because Jordan was getting paid all that money because he's the one that could hit them game winning shots. So we
Right.
need him to have a little something in the tank down the stretch. And it's interesting because, like, I don't know if anyone listening can, but like, I think back of like situations where, like, man, we really need you to kill it in this scenario.
Yeah.
And not that anything stands out in particular where it's like, oh, you just didn't know no better, bro. Like, you really should have gone in with this type of mentality. And what were you doing to manage your energy leading it? What was draining your energy? You know, how were you channeling your energy and so on? So it's one of those where it's like, shit, man, y'all should have told me this shit.
All right. So how far into the book are you think? It's like
Oh, dude, I've been juggling so much, bro. Like,
yeah.
my kid, the 4-year-old, she be requesting songs. Like, we're in the car, she's like, I need you to play such and such. You know what I mean? So it's like I can't bump no audiobook while I'm riding around with them. So yeah, it's only like maybe like a chapter, like the intro and the chapter, because you're having to rewind stuff and
Yeah. So any big, I mean, I know it's only a chapter, but any big takeaway yet? Like, or even having like when somebody usually suggests a book, they're like, dude, you should be able to take away like this is what I took away from it. You're already kind of starting to see, it sounds by the way you were explaining it too, that you kind of are maybe.
No, not anything
No.
specific. That's why I'm thinking to myself, like, is this one that you just need the the hard copy? Like, you might actually need the tangible to really sit down.
Highlight some shit.
Yeah, I think that's honestly like a more fully engaged way of trying to take in information. But I mean, for the most part, I really got taken aback when he was kind of I think talking about a client, because they would represent like corporate America people, but also like the tennis player who won her first US Open after hiring them, like performance psychology. Basically, it's all
Yeah.
so basically when he started saying Bill was a salesman, and you know, his energy da da da, and little by little, you know, and it's just telling what's the word, like kind of like the day to day of what that client was having to juggle. Like, you know, he needs maybe a little alcohol at night to wind down, you know, lots of caffeine in the day for a little pick me up. And it's like, then there's this crash. And, you know, now it ties back to like productivity, relationships. I guess you're standing at the workplace in the team, you know, just like little things where it's kind of like, oh, I think a lot of people could relate to that. Like, you need a little melatonin, you know, you need a little alcohol to wind down because you were all wired up, and then in the daytime you were tired, so you need a little pick me up, and it's like fucking cycle.
Well, dude, doing the what were we talking about just now? Oh, the nurturing of relationships, right? What's kind of dismissed in a way, I think, or not even maybe talked about a whole lot, is the differences in the people that are trying to get things done, who have kids and a wife, and those that don't. And I know that sometimes it is talked about, but it's kind of just dismissive, like, yeah, dude's got kids and a wife, so he really can't be out as long or can't be out as much or as often or whatever. So sometimes when I'll be either on calls or conversations with people, knowing that these individuals don't have a wife, don't even have a significant other of any sort, don't have kids, they might have a pet if they're lucky, or a fish, and the expectation somehow, you know, not just globally, but broadly, I guess if that's a word, are to do the exact same things at the same amount of time with the same, you know, results or whatever. It's like, look, it doesn't work that way. And I'm not saying you have to cut off people that don't have kids or vice versa, but everyone's got to be in tune, or shit just isn't going to work. Like, the expectations have to be realistic. That's one of the biggest things. Like, either I talk to my wife or whoever about it. It's like that word expectations is a do or die word for a lot of people, and they don't even realize it. If you have expectations of others, you're already letting yourself down immediately. Like, the upset is coming. Now, if you go in there with no expectations, you have way more ability to mold the situation and the results of what you're about to, you know, undertake. And all that stuff is kind of lost because, like you said, it's a cycle, like you just finished saying, and it's so go, 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 that you kind of lose, like, what was the plan? Like, what were we going to do? Like, when were we going to get that done? When was that going to happen? It just kind of gets lost in the mix.
So you're saying like people that don't have kids, what do you?
They have more expectations of in their mind, they have the same expectations of what they can deliver, right? At the time that they can deliver it, at the promptness that they can deliver it, not taking into account, like, man, this, you know, other obligations over here, because they don't have that to think about. So it's always, which I can appreciate, the go, go, go. best analogy somebody might be able to understand is like the Hermosis, right? $100 million this and that, blah blah blah. I think it's great. Don't have kids. They don't want kids, as far as I've known. But they talk in a way that they preach to their audiences, which I again enjoy. I have to keep saying that. I've read all of Alex's book. I think they're great. But now I've started to see in his comment sections of like, you know what? I kind of had to stop the religion of Hermosi because, and they were like, it didn't really align with, hey, we got kids sports. Hey, we got this going on. My wife's got that going on. Like, I want to make money, but like, it's not the only thing. Like, there was one video in particular, going back to optimization and results and all that, being results driven, which I appreciate as well. He was talking to an old buddy from his high school. Let's just say you had a friend from, you know, whatever college you might talk to once a year or every 6 months or whatever. And the guy was always happy. And the guy was happy making 40 grand like he was when he was making 25 grand. And then, long story short, he ended up working for Alex for a while. And then he didn't want the promotion. Asked Alex if he can go back to a lower, you know, pay. He was like, but you're going to make half the salary. He goes, yeah, man, but I was happy then and I'm still happy now. Like, it's cool. They meet up again years later. Alex is the guy that he is now. And Alex was like, he realized it. He's like, dude, you know, his buddy was like, it's so good to see what you've accomplished and this, that, and the other. And he noticed that his old friend was still as happy as he was 15 years ago, 20 years ago. And Alex was like, you know what, dude, I'm trying to get to where you are. Like, you already beat me to the destination despite having all this notoriety and money and all that. So again, it just goes back to what matters to you. Like, what are you willing to make time for?
Man, that's such a fire subject, which is like, because at the end of the day, happiness is going to ultimately be like a great way to measure your existence.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a little bit of peace, you know, that's a hell of a story, bro, because, you know, when it comes to like trying to like everything I had just said, like, how do you manage your energy better? Like, how do you the art and skill of managing relationships? It's like, because you're trying to accomplish certain shit or whatever. But also like my mentor who was like giving me all this game, he was like, bro, you about to have like apply all this, what I'm telling you. And you about to like basically have more peace, probably make more bread, have less headaches, accomplish your shit and you know, like in a relaxed manner, as relaxed as it could be.
Yeah.
Right. And that's a beautiful balance because like, for example, when it comes to like kids and stuff, it's like, man, trust me, I'm real quick. It's easy to just be like, man, well, I could have been, you know, if it was just me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If it was just me, you think, shit, I wouldn't have to, you know, this and that, whatever. But it's like, man, these little kids are something else, bro. Like, I literally got to hang out with my 3 daughters yesterday. We went to the roller rink, you know, the skate, what do you call that? Yeah, roller rink.
Roller rink, yeah.
Yeah, so they're all out there skating, all 3 of them. The 4-year-old, she's got like the little the PVC pipe walker thing with wheels on it. But I'm seeing her, like her confidence and, you know, what happens when she kind of like falls and, you know, just, it's kind of hard to explain, but like the parents know.
Yeah.
Like you be quick to complain about them. But the minute it's like, oh my gosh, she's 4 and she's like so funny and she's singing these lyrics and, you know, she just said the funniest thing and like, wow, my 7-year-old she's special. Like, golly. Like, where did she come up with this stuff, you know? And then it's like, and then the 17-year-old, you're trying to give her advice about like, all right, what's up with this first car thing? And I'm hearing about some college stuff, you know what I mean? Yeah. And you just trying to guide them and give them some game. And my 17-year-old, she's been doing a lot of photo shoots and she's getting real good at like light correction and apps and
nice.
her getting real familiar with her Canon camera. And she's talking about lenses and all this. And all day I was teaching CapCut to my 7-year-old for a computer class. So she was like learning how to edit. And we did like this funny little meme where she's playing the piano because it was day in the life of a homeschooler. So the part where she's doing the piano, she like messes up, hits the wrong note. And she's just like, oh. And then she's like, okay, cut right there. And she's like, can you put a thing where it's like math equations and like a face and like a sound? And I'm like a meme? She's like, yeah, kind of like that. So I had to go screen grab. I forget who that. I think it's Julia Roberts. She's making a face and it's got like math equations. And I think it's the X-Files music or something.
Classic.
So I went and grabbed that, put that after where she told me to cut. And then and she just was cracking up because she hits the wrong note, and then it cuts to that thing, and then it cuts back to the video, and she was just laughing. She was trying to show everybody, and she's opening up CapCut and all this, and it's like, man, you can't even put a price on that. And then when you see, because like Instagram is good at making you envious of what somebody else got going on. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, oh shit, damn, they're performing over there. Wow, they're in what city? Damn. But it's like, guess what? I don't envy that. I'm trying to figure out how to not.
Yeah.
Like,
one of the hardest things for a lot of people is to just like establish what enough is. You know what I mean? Like, I learned that from some business mentors a long time ago. And don't get me wrong, I still like working with people who can't seem, Hermosi is another good example, and I don't work with him, but let's just say that I've worked with people on that level where it's never enough. And I can appreciate it, because when I didn't have a wife or kids, it felt like nothing was ever enough. That the experiences were never enough, the money was never enough, the opportunities on the table were never enough. Like, I want to be able to pick and choose whatever I want to do. But then you get to a point where, like, all right, you know what? If you want to keep going that way, that's cool. I think I've found a level of what enough is, and I can balance this stuff. And some people hate the word balance, because if you're balanced, you're stagnant, right? That's what they'll say. Like, if you're balanced, you're stagnant. You're not moving. Like, well, relax. You can play words like that if you want, semantics. But I'm going to play a video for you. I saw it last night, and I found probably one of my new favorite psychologists here of sorts. I think you'll appreciate this video. This is how people in the modern world, thanks to feminism, I think, have looked at kids.
A child is becoming an unpaid Uber driver for someone who doesn't want to go to karate and hates you anyway. And it's hard work.
That is a narrative that I'm going to push back on, which is part of the problem, which is that it's the narrative of misery, which has been promoted. And it's not miserable to have children. It's joyful. It's the most incredible love you'll ever experience in your life, but it's also really hard. And I think we have a bunch of pussies, actually. We are producing women and men who are pussies, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. They cannot deal with discomfort. They cannot deal with frustration. They cannot deal with sacrifice or hardship or responsibility. They want it to be easy. Who said raising children was easy? You don't get the good stuff unless you put in the work. And it's the same if you're out in the world. Of course it's easier to go to a job than it is to stay home with a child, because a child demands more of you, but it also gives back more.
Bro, please DM that to me right now.
Yes, sir. I'll do that right
please.
now. I found her too. I sent it to my wife. She ended up finding her profile of that psychologist on that table, on that panel. Really good. Very, she just hit for a certain point on a different variety of videos, which was really appreciative. But yeah, man, like, and I was just reading something else before I came across that video last night where I think it's an old like Amish phrase, but like a comfort gained is a skill lost. So essentially, like, when you always want to be comfortable, you lose the ability to be uncomfortable in situations. That's why going to the gym is important. Even if you don't make it every day, it's still one of those. That's why when you talk to people, dude, that I hate working out. It's the worst thing. I hate all that kind of talk. They're weak, unfortunately. And if you're listening to this, sorry, like, you're a different kind of breed of weakness that if times get tough, times get hard, you're always immediately the first one that gets depressed. You're always the first one that gets sad and upset. You're the first one that falls into your feels. You're the first one that logic goes out the window. That's not good for society.
Okay, I feel you on that. I felt a little attacked.
That's hilarious.
Some of these motherfuckers is weak, dog.
but she was like, "We got a bunch of pussies." That lady was like, "Oh well,
bro,
oh my."
Bro, she hit the nail on the head talking about the parenting. She said everything I was trying to say. She literally, everything I was trying to say about, like, you take them to the roller rink and one of them, like, the way they fall, right? It's like, man, look how my baby fall. But didn't make no,
Murphy over here.
Just talked in circles and didn't say what she said. And then she also said, like, discomfort. Mm-hmm. So, bro, all right. The main reason I did not go to jiu-jitsu today at 10:30 a.m., the main reason is because I've already gotten behind on my work.
Yeah.
Like, I literally have a Tío Juventino, the Spanish version, open. That's why GarageBand was open, because I was recording the audio. So I haven't finished that. I need to buckle down, finish that. I just got behind on my work. I got to listen to my sets that we taped for from San Antonio, because I want to release a comedy album to iTunes and Spotify. Mm-hmm. So I got to make the time to sit there and listen to it. And I got to homeschool.
Right.
But the other reason I didn't go to jiu-jitsu was not just, hey, I kind of got like work to do. We didn't even record last week. Like, I got behind.
Yeah.
But another reason is temperature drop. Got a little chilly, and it's discomfort.
Yep.
It's like, cause I knew I had work to do, but I was like, you know what? I could probably still go as soon as I get back. I could homeschool Penny for a few hours and then try and fit in all my work. Like there's that verse you need to finish. There's that other collab. You got to write I got a new single coming out, my boy Uno G. So I got to write the captions better. You know what I mean? Like you got to get ahead of it. The single drops. It hits iTunes Friday, November 21st. We're dropping the music video. I think Thanksgiving Day, but nice. I got to get on the phone. That takes time. Mm-hmm. Hey, bro, we got to get on the phone. We're dropping a song. Does this sound like a good strategy? So I was still like, I could still go to class. But then that little cold air hit, and I was like, yeah, that mat gonna be real cold. Even if I wear a gi, then you start sweating. I was like, you know what? Catch up on your work.
That's actually a justified reason, though. Honestly.
Yeah, because I had like multiple reasons. It's like, dude, catch up on your work. Oh, now let me tell you this. The coffee debacle this morning.
Okay.
So this morning, I need to figure out how I'm going to try to solve this issue for my wife because I feel bad. So this morning, I got up first, and the main obligations were get Sunny ready for school, make her lunch and all that. My wife's getting ready because she's got a market today. And I chose not to make coffee because we had a lot of leftover coffee from yesterday because my 17-year-old and we brewed coffee to do like a video.
I saw it.
To make content. Thank you. And that was like one of our little activities together. And so I didn't make any coffee. So this morning I go to drop off the smallest one to school. And now my wife is like, hey, I don't have time to stop for coffee. I don't think they sell coffee there. You didn't make coffee. I'm going to be late. There's no coffee. And then I open up Twitter and it says Adam Carolla had to give half to his wife in divorce. Mm-hmm. And I was like, half might be worth it right now.
100%.
Nah.
Half might be worth having some instant sticks in the pantry.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was just like, man, my bad. I thought I was going to be able to see you to have like a game plan. Like, hey, go ahead and brew me some. Or why didn't you brew any or whatever. Or, oh, wait, you don't have time to stop. So it's at a country club, the event she's doing. It's at a country club and there's like a front security gate. She's like, yeah, I don't think a Uber Eats guy is going to be able to get to me and all this. And I'm like, it's a country club. There's like catering people, like, they got to have coffee on premises. It's a country club. Yeah. Somebody's playing golf. Like there's people in the pool. Like beautiful country club, by the way. Dude, when I was helping her set up, like unload, and then I went out on that little balcony and I see like the pool over to my right. Somebody's in there doing laps and I just see like the landscaping and the bridges over the water and the little golf carts going. And I was like, I'm like, y'all lucky I already got a hobby. Because I heard this hobby takes up a lot of time.
It sure does. But, if you want to play golf, we picked up golf this year, Don, I, and the kids. So,
yeah, no, a lot of people try to get me into it, bro, but I got to stick with Jiu-Jitsu. So, look, they had a cop there, right? A cop was doing security. And, when you're in a cult, you're always trying to get other people in the cult.
Yeah, of course.
Right? So I'm like, sir, you do any training or, any grappling or anything like that? And he's like, I do a lot of shooting. And then I was like, okay, so you ain't trying to grapple nobody. You trying to, you know what I mean? Made a little joke, but probably didn't like that.
He's like, what are you trying to say?
Yeah. Are you one of those La Raza people?
La Raza?
Yeah. And I was like, and then he's like, I take it you grapple, right? Because it's like, all right, hurry up and give me your damn spiel. And so anyway, and I was like, nah, and I started telling him, hey, if you got kids, put them in. I wasn't trying to be too pushy,
Yeah.
Join the cult. Because think about it. It's like, come on, dog, you a cop, bro. Like, just to know how to handle yourself. Like, if somebody reached for your gun. Like, if somebody did try to clinch up with you. Or you're trying to take them down. Or they trying to take you down. Or it's you and your partner trying to apprehend this person that's on drugs. Like, do you even know, like, what to do?
If anybody is into jiu-jitsu that much that you want one of those training dolls, funny enough, have you ever met Ben Eddy, 10th Planet?
Yeah, Ben Eddy, yes.
He's selling his robot jiu-jitsu doll. I saw it on Facebook the other day. So hit up Ben Eddy on Facebook if you know who that is. They're pretty pricey. Like if you buy them brand new, I don't remember what he's selling it for, but they're a couple grand.
They must have gave him that, bro. You think they get? Come on, dog. It's Ben Eddie. They probably gave it to him for free.
Either way, if you want to save some money, I'm pretty sure Ben Eddie give you a good deal on it.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's just to like do submissions to it, and it like lets you know, like, okay, you broke my knee.
There's like, I remember, I think Eddie may have shared it, or like, I don't remember. It was a long time ago that I remember that, like the prototypes were kind of being thrown around on social media. But they have like levers and springs and sensors and all kinds of stuff to where you can actually feel. I've never personally used one, but they looked as realistic as a person could be.
So basically, you can like do a knee bar, and it'll tap or whatever.
And you could feel like I guess it's made to where you can kind of feel it like a person's ligament or like actual, bones or whatever. Pretty cool.
I'll tell you that white belt I rode with, that fool, he don't tap to certain shit. I don't know if y'all remember that story.
Mm-hmm.
He don't tap to certain shit, and come to find out,
he's just double jointed.
Well, he's like, yeah, he's flexible, but also it's kind of like a pain thing where it's like, bro, you can knee bar him all you want, and like the only thing he'll tap to is chokes, and especially if it's like a well applied choke or like he's gonna go sleep. But apparently there was an incident where one of the higher belts was like doing some kind of choke to him or something, but like he wouldn't tap. Long story short, he ended up with some type of like knot or something, and then his mom got mad. She went up there like y'all can't be doing this, to my kid. It's like he need to tap.
Tap early, tapped often. Like give yourself another chance to live another day.
Yeah, especially if you 46, father of 3.
Did you really turn 46 this year?
I'm 46, bro. 46, 1979.
Dang, you don't look a day over 36.
Es que las canas, güey, me las tapé.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. El Rogaine, just for men.
Yeah. It's actually the Fat Joe brand. The
no way.
Rewind. Don't fight the time. Rewind the time.
That's actually a really good phrase, good name.
Don't fight the time. Rewind the time.
Speaking of characters from the past, man, I was talking to Chingo before the podcast. Why haven't we seen, or I personally, one of my favorite characters was El Mamado. Where has El Mamado been? Is he hibernating? What's been going on?
Honestly, I need like a video assistant. Like, obviously my boy Juan Perez, he was like my social media manager. He did a killer job. And that's when you got to see a lot of Theo Juven. Because sure, I just finished telling y'all how much shit I'm juggling.
True.
But like
trying to put more shit on Chingo's plate.
I mean, I could film myself as Juve, but like maybe even like a virtual assistant, like just somebody on FaceTime, like here are some questions. And I think Juan and I were gonna do it like that for a while. But yeah, and then to answer your question though, El Mamado, same thing. I think I just need like somebody to just bounce off. Like, all right. I mean, I could put on the wig and put up a tripod and a light. Like, I can do both, but sometimes you just need like a little inspo. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like, all right, let's put our heads together. Okay, let's jot down 5 ideas. Okay, these are the best 3. Here's some. It really does take, especially when it's like, for example, El Mamado would be way harder to do than Theo Juve right now. Because with Theo Juve, I feel like we've already jogged the noggin enough in terms of what kinds of topics or subjects or scenarios he could get himself into. Whereas with like El Mamado, it'd have to be like, all right, so character-wise, like is he still a trainer? Like is he motivating you? Like is he trying to give you workouts? Like what exactly? Where's his headspace, basically, right? Because we got to make him real. He's got to be somewhat real for that shit to hit. So then it'd be like, okay, he's going to make fun of all the, or he's going to be like a parody of an Instagram influencer, right? All right, so if he's going to be a parody of that, now we got to kind of jot down some tropes and cliches of what that space is like. All right, so boom, boom, there's always that one that does this. There's the one that makes you feel guilty. Like all the hooks, right? It's all marketing.
Right.
Like how do they get you to follow their page? How do they, leave the word, like they use bots, right? Leave the word, whatever, heavy.
Gym. Yeah, heavy.
Yeah, whatever. And I don't even know how that shit works. I heard there's some kind of app. But
I was telling you about it, MiniChat.
That was you, yeah. I was like, I think I was telling Frank, I was like, weren't you telling me the other day? To get leads and shit, or it'll automatically DM them some shit. So like it's like some sales funnel type stuff, which El Mamado could literally utilize that, like literally take that same format. I want to shout out Chewy's Macros. Do you follow him?
I don't.
Chewy's Macros.
Okay.
So this dude's so genius because he literally did something on Instagram that I'm sure many people, including probably Rob himself and like my wife herself, like my wife was like, man, if it's all about portions and just kind of like swapping out certain things, like there's got to be a way to still get those Mexican flavors. You know what I mean? Like, and our people just need to be educated more when it comes to like, you can't have the whole dozen tamales, like, you know, like substitute this and measure that and limit yourself to that and make it with this instead. And anyway, what Chewy's Macros does is he'll literally be like, this is how I went from, you know, from this, you know, to this by still eating chilaquiles, tacos, like Mexican food. And then he made the cookbook.
I might have seen this guy actually. Did he talk about it like an all taco diet recently?
Yeah, I think he posted his all taco.
Okay, then I have seen that. Yeah.
Which is great, and it inspired me because check this out. It all ties in, bro.
Yeah, of
With
course.
everything you gotta juggle. We literally just talked about how are you consistent? How do you manage your energy? How do you manage relationships? How do you move the needle? All that shit without making your lifestyle inflate to where it's never enough, right? Because fucking lifestyle inflation. But it's like, and on top of that, how are you also on top of your diet and your waistline and everything? Because like, I'm gonna tell y'all right now on air to hold myself accountable. My blue belt is a little snug. This right here is an A1. This is an A1, all right? And my belly more like an A2 right now. So like when I tie it, you lucky if you get these two little ears. You lucky if you get these two little ears. So this is my marker and my measurement. My coach Tony Torres Aponte from Urban Jungle, he literally told the class when he gave a black belt. He presented a black belt to my boy Frank, and he basically said like this: y'all can't be fat. You can't be no black belt around here. Damn. He said, how y'all taking a self-defense class? Meanwhile, you're poisoning yourself out there with all that bullshit y'all be putting in y'all's body. So here's the goal. I was even rolling with my boy who's like a little bit taller, way slimmer, because his blue belt got a little hang time. Like his blue belt, you could actually see las flaps, las orejitas.
Yeah.
He got a little bit more on his belt. My belt's over here with it, right? When I tie that motherfucker. So the goal
looks like a collar on your shirt.
Yeah, it's like a little bow tie. So the goal is, I know I probably got to lose at least 10, but I'm gonna just start with 5. I'm gonna just start with 5, and I saw how Chewy's Macros was talking about the tacos, and I was like, you know what? For now, as I tweak and tighten, right? Because you can't implement a whole bunch of new systems at once. It's like, okay, hold up. What menu? Yeah. Trust me, my wife got about 58 menus throughout the years of like, I'm bored of this menu. And it's like, I need a new menu. You know, this is a carb load menu. This is a down cycle, up cycle, whatever the hell.
I love Mighty Soul.
So we got way more. We got a shit ton of menus, right? So it's not time to do menus right now. We're not doing menus. It's basically like, all right, Pete, get your protein. You might have to eyeball your stuff right now. You know, if we know that like we trying to get these rabbit ears a little bit better, then jiu-jitsu 3 times a week. Obviously, today was not the day.
Today was not the day.
It was a little bit nippy, and we had a lot of shit going on. We got behind on our work. Theo Hoover's Spanish book, the audio book on the way. So that's what I'm doing right now. Is kind of like get back on the little intermittent fasting, kind of like don't eat breakfast right away. I hear that there's a lot of mixed reviews about breakfast and stuff like that, but basically like make sure you keep you some corn tortillas, even though corn ain't even the best for you. Yeah. But it's a quick, convenient, easy way, because like my babysitter, she always has protein in there for us. Like she always got like a little like, hey, it's fresh. I just made, ground beef, or like, hey, there's some chicken right there. There's chicken salad, and don't forget, y'all got to make sandwiches. Y'all got to eat that chicken salad. Like there's always protein. So it's one of those. There's a tortilleria by my house, bro. When's the last time you had like a fresh corn from a tortilleria?
Ooh, other than like HEB stuff, no, it's been a long time.
HEB got good flour, but
They have a keto flour one now that's really good.
no
Bro,
shit.
it's better than now.
Okay.
Pause. I'm gonna say that for a slight exaggeration, but it might be better than the regular flour, which are already really good.
Yeah, those are notorious. Like people be smuggling them to Chicago and shit.
Yep.
So yeah, so basically I'm just doing like corn tortillas. That tortilleria by my house, bro. Like you can literally just kind of run in, stop in, I order a kilo of tortillas, even though they're gonna sell you in pounds, right? This America, they're gonna be like, okay, you mean your 2.5 pound or whatever, but it's like, yeah. Let me feel like I'm in Mexico right now. And then I'll buy like a little thing of queso fresco, and then I'll buy like some fresh salsas. Their salsas are fire. So no matter what you whip up at home, you could crumble a little bit of queso fresco and you could hit it with some of that salsa, and them tortillas are fresh. In my head, they're non-GMO and all types of shit. I don't know where they get their the cornmeal and their maize from. But anyway, that's what I'm doing.
Are you familiar? All right, we're gonna have to give a shout out here just because I feel like it's worth it and it's pertinent to the conversation. There's a brand called Hero. Have you heard of the Hero branded bread and tortillas? Their big thing is super low carb, but they still taste really good. So buns, fucking hot dog buns, burger buns, tortillas de harina, but they're keto. They're only and they're it's not keto exactly. Let me take that back. It's high fiber is more so what it is. So you replace a lot of the carbohydrates. Literally, I think it's 1 or 2 grams of actual carbs, and everything else is fiber. So it helps with the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? As it comes in, it's got to go out. So highly recommend it. You can order it online. We just started seeing them at Sprouts. There was a pretty big Sprouts that opened up in Central Texas. We visited, and it was the first store that I saw their stuff in, dude. But it's totally worth it if you want to add that stuff in there, because I understand what I tell them, man. Like, you're saying you want to drop 10, we're going to start with 5. I said that last year. I was walking around probably around 233. I'm 223 now. And so it took right around 10 months. Not really like dialed in. Like, listen, there's another desk back here with another computer I just got. I got 2 monitors. I'm at these little fucking stations from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. I try to get a workout at the gym, which is why I'm doing the garage gym even elevated another step because of the time. So 10, 12 hours. I go downstairs. We'll have dinner, hang with the kids or whatever. And then I get my laptop downstairs and I work another 2 or 3 hours. So every day, Monday through Friday, sometimes Saturday and Sunday as well, 10 to 15 hours on the computer, it's just not enough movement. You got to dial in that freaking nutrition, man. You got to dial in the movement. You got to get some, workouts in the garage. You got to get it done. Otherwise, it's going to be impossible to shred anything off.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of workouts, I have kettlebells at the house, a couple dumbbells, but I want some dumbbells that have the, the ones that have like 24-hour fitness, with like a rubber, the
weight part?
Yeah, the weight part's like rubber, and it's kind of wide, so you can like do like lat pullovers with it or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I got to give me some of those. I don't know if Bolt Fitness sells those or not, but yeah, I got a bunch of I haven't stepped into a 24-hour fitness in a long time, since I was like waiting for a flight in Seattle and I had to kill time like all day before my friend could come pick me up. And
so is all your workouts jiu-jitsu right now?
And stuff at home, like, bands, pull-up bar, like just little things. I'm actually looking at some shit over here, like an ab wheel.
Yeah.
You got a bunch of stuff like that. But the kettlebells, you can do so much with kettlebells and dumbbells. I even bought, the slant for your squat, like the incline.
Yes.
To where I guess it hits quads more.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you do like a goblet squat on there. So because of convenience, it's great because you don't got to go nowhere. Mm-hmm. And you could literally be like, all right, I brewed some coffee. I got my Bible right here. I'm going to drop down, do 10 push-ups, read the Bible some more, sip the coffee, 10 kettlebell swings. You know what I mean? It might not sound like, hey, you shouldn't do it that way. But it's like, before you know it, I'm sweating.
Yeah.
I got a pump going. And worst case, I got a workout in that day.
Right, yeah. Earlier when we were talking about Mamalo, it would be funny in my mind when you were like, what's the story? Where's he at these days? Is he still a trainer or whatever? It'd be funny if he was even a parody of, of a bodybuilder or a trainer. He's already jacked. He's doing his thing. He's still Mamalo. But like when the doors close and the lights turn off, like he's using Theo Huva's book to get him like geared up because he's like mentally weak. He's physically strong, but he's mentally weak, and Huva's helping him get his confidence up and helping him land the chicks and do what he does, right? Because a lot of times that's true too. Like people will be physically fit, but they're really mentally weak with approaching women or approaching people in general, and they need some kind of like Tony Robbins character in their mind to like help them juice them up.
Dude, that's genius, right? Where it's like the different worlds.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of like, it's like, I gotta buy a Mamalo protein shaker, and it's like, but I also need the Juve book, you know, because Mamalo read the Juve book.
Exactly. He's going to sleep after, because one of the best parts of working out, or the best aspect of it, is the recovery. So like back in the day, you'd see Arnold or Lou Ferrigno or Jay Cutler, like they would kill their workout. They'd eat all this food, and then the workout was important. The food was too, but even more than that was the sleep. You got him going to sleep. The Juve book, the audio book, he's just listening to it, repeating it as he's falling asleep.
That's a great idea too. Khabib, I can't say his last name.
Nurmagomedov.
Yeah, that guy. He said that like naps, because they be training like twice a day type stuff.
Yeah.
To where it's like, oh, you got to take a nap, brother. Like rest, man. If I had told my younger self that, I probably would think I was crazy.
Yeah.
But I literally just ran out of this supplement. I got to run to Whole Foods and go get more. It's the zinc, magnesium. I think it has selenium in it.
The ZMA one?
Yeah, basically, right? So, man, have you ever tried that? Like,
yeah, they used to be a staple. And then honestly, like we have a stack. Like we've been taking the same stack that I put together back when Dr. Rhonda Patrick was talking about all the different immune things that would help during the crazy flu years, and we still take them, man. Like I have my wife and I both our little capsule things for Monday through Sunday, and it's two-sided. And it's not like morning and afternoon. It's like these are all the things we're taking every day at once after lunch or whatever, whenever you want. And since having done that, like the sleeping part or the coming down part at the end of the day has never been a problem. But when I did ZMA, I mean, if you didn't take it when you were about to go to bed, you were about to fall asleep wherever you were. Like that's just how it was.
Oh yeah, right. Like I think last night I took the last pill, and I might have taken it like I was tired too.
That helps.
I was tired because, like I said, I had the kids all day long, and I think finally when my wife was like headed home or had just got home, I popped it, and I'm just sitting there watching Eddie Bravo's Master the System website or the 10P Index, which is a great resource. Also, it's the app, and so I'm just sitting there kind of looking at it, but I'm dozing off in that bitch. I was dozing off, bro, and I was out like a light.
Out like a light.
Like a light.
So now that it's midday here when we're recording this, what does Chingo have to do the rest of the day? Because you still got daddy daycare duties, right?
Well, I'm about to go. I need to homeschool my daughter, but also I need to check up on my wife's caffeine situation. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah. Where were we with that? Like, what? So what had happened?
Basically, she's like, I don't have time to stop. You didn't brew coffee. Uber Eats can't deliver it because it's a country club, and they don't have coffee there. And I'm just like, are you sure? So I'm just gonna check up on that. There's got to be a way you can figure that out. Right? I'm sure you can figure that out on your own, but I'm gonna.
But either way, Papa can come to save you if he needs.
Yeah, like I'm homeschooling while I'm driving. All right, kid, what's 9 times 6? And so yeah, basically, long story short, bro, to answer your question, I got to record this Spanish audiobook. Tío Juventino. Nice. This is the Spanish one, so I already started. I got to finish it. That's one of the main things, bro. If I can get that done, that already is like somewhat productive.
I had brought up earlier instant coffee. Have you ever? I've never had an instant coffee in my life. Have you? And do you have any to suggest?
You ain't never had no instant coffee in your life?
Never, dude.
Oh shit. Oh man, a lot of people.
Like we're talking like just like the little powder even packets. Right. I've never had no.
Wow, never, not once.
Now I'm bougie as hell.
Holy shit! I wonder why you've never come across the situation. I guess you're not addicted to coffee, but
oh no, dude, I have 2 Nespressos in the morning, and then usually by the time we get to noon and we're recording, this is actually a HEB Big Red. It's a cheap version, but otherwise it's an energy drink usually, right? So the caffeine is not lost on me. It's just it's always like a little bit of a bougier coffee.
Got it. He's like the reason I've never had an instant is because I have an espresso machine.
I have a Nespresso machine where I do 2 a day. It's fluffy on its own. It's already kind of creamy. I don't have to, and I have a frother as well, but I don't always use it.
Your whole answer could have been one word, like, so why haven't you Nespresso?
So
a lot of people like the Nescafe just because it's kind of like crack. It's just like it's that shit strong as fuck, in my opinion. And then there's a lot of like bougie or like instant espressos. honestly, for somebody like me, that's more to just get you out of a bind, right? But like my babysitter, that's literally what she drinks. It's like Nescafe. They even sell one. I know the listeners have heard of this. A lot of them. They even sell one with café de olla, instant.
Oh, really?
So it's got a little sugar, like brown sugar, cinnamon type of flavor with it, and that's cool. I find that a lot of instant ones, they got like that real acidic.
Yes.
Like
yes,
it's
yes.
kind of like, ooh, like it's just
What's
got,
your favorite way to consume coffee? Since we're landing the plane here, I got to know, because that's one of my favorite ways to start the day, and I know yours as well. You got the Bible, the stretching, the relaxing, the getting ready for the day, but you usually have a cup of coffee in your hand, right?
Absolutely. It is gonna be Café Bustelo out of the large yellow container from Costco, the big gallon, big bucket, into a Bialetti mocha pot. You know what those are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so you're still heating up the water on the stove and doing all that?
You put water in the base, and then you put the little
right.
the reservoir for the coffee, and then you screw it on top, heat it. And the reason, and then I'll probably like steam some milk, unless I'm like trying to be hardcore like I am right now, like on some intermittent fasting type shit.
Yeah.
Then I'll just probably just a little dash of cinnamon or something, but or even like water it down with like some hot water type shit. But I love this question because perfect way to land the plane, because it puts everything in full circle and perspective. A lot of times the desire for more and the desire for success and the envy of wanting to be in that cool place and post for your haters, it's going to involve travel and dealing with people. And even though it looks really fucking cool because you're on this plane and you're going to this place and it's like, wow, from the outside looking in, that's what I want. That's success. And it's like, guess what? You're not going to have your coffee at home the way you like it, in your kitchen, getting out of your bed, going in your living room, opening up your Bible. And, it's basically like nothing tops coffee like made by me at home. Even though there's good coffees out there, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of amazing coffees, some of the best coffee. Shit, I had some bomb-ass coffee in a green room at the Upstairs Comedy Club in LA. It energized my soul. It was a German engineering machine that cleaned itself out first. The first bit of water comes out, you got to throw that out. And it was amazing, but it wasn't home. So at the end of the day, man, I feel like that just really puts stuff in perspective, where it's like, what's at home? You know what I'm saying? Those are my goals. It's like, can you make it to this three times a week, even though it was a little cold this morning and you had a little work to do? So you did not go, but we got a couple more days in the week.
I think it's the effort. I don't want to say the effort that counts, because that's a cop-out, but it is the recognition that there needs to be a little bit more effort going forward. I think all of that kind of puts you in the right direction, man, because a lot of times people will dismiss it and be like, whatever. They won't even think twice about it. I had things to do, whatever. And then they dismiss the fact that, like, well, it was an excuse. I could have done better. So at least you recognize that and you say you want to. Some people don't actually want to improve, believe it or not.
And that's why I'm glad my goal is 3 times a week, because, we record this Monday. Didn't happen. It wasn't in the cards Monday, but you still got a couple more days to make it happen.
All right. Well, tell everybody again where you're going to be at for the rest of the year.
Brownsville, Texas, Wednesday, December 26th at the Lucky Barrel. The Lucky Barrel in Brownsville, Texas. Then we have Tampa, Florida, Side Splitters Comedy Club, December 14th. And coming up top of the year, might as well let y'all know, Immokalee, Florida at the Seminole Center, February 21st. That's a Saturday, February 21st. Tickets already available, chingobling.com.
Awesome. All right, man. We'll see everybody next week. Hang tight for me, brother.
Yes, sir.